rai 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 rai, yiri rai 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 rai, yada dum dum dai, yiri rai 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 rai, yiri rai 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 rai, yiri rai 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 rai, yada dum dum dai, yada rai 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 rai, yada rai 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 rai, ya ya rai 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 rai, yada la la la. Yada lai 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 lai, yada lai 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 lai, ya ya lai 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 lai, yo. Ay ay lai lai ay, yidi dan dai da hai lai lai, hada dai la la lai ay la 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 hai, yidi lai 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 ay lai lai la la la. Yidi rai lai lai lai, yidi rai lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, ya la 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 lai, yidi rai lai lai lai, yidi rai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Might be the guitar, or oh, there's another mic over there. Is it that one? Okay. Okay. Should I put this over here? Maybe it'll pick up more voices, or okay. Okay, so let's continue. Let's go to page 11. Lichu neranana. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector, the one, Tzur Yishenu, to the rock that saves us. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, letzur Yishenu, nekadma fanav betoda. Naria, naria, letzur Yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Let's continue. We're going to go to 13. Hai la lai lai, hai la lai lai, hai la lai 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 la lai la lai. 2, 3, 4. Shiru l'Adonai, shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruchu shemo. Basru miyom liyom Yeshuato, sapru hagoyim kevodo, bechol ha'amim niflotav, ki gadol Adonai, u'mulam me'od, nora'u, al kol Elohim, hai lai lai, ki kol Elohe ha'amim melilim, v'Adonai shamayim asa, hod v'hadar לפניו עוז ותפארת במקדשו. הבו לאדוני משפחות עמים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו. שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו, Page 14, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, חילון מפניו כל הארץ. אמרו בגויים, אדוני מלך, אף תיכון תבל בתימות. ידינמים במישרים, ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ירם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי בכל אשר בו. היי, אז ירננו כל עצי יער לפני אדוני, כי בא לשבות הארץ, ישבות תבל בצדק, בעמים באמונתו. יאללה לה לה לה, היי לה לה, היי לה 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 לה, יאללה לה לה, אוי לה 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 לה, היי לה לה לה. Let's go now to page 20. About 3 lines down there. Ba'amud Amnan Yedaber Alehem. To Moses and Aaron, you spoke from them from a pillar of cloud. Ba'amud Amnan Yedaber Alehem. Shameru Edota Vechok Natan Lamo. Adonai Eloheinu Ata Anita El Noseh Haita Lahem Venokem Al Alilotam. Ay Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Veishtachavu Lehar Kodsho Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. We rise, page 21. Mizmor LeDavid, Haul Adonai B'Elim, Havul Adonai Kavod Ba'o. Highlight, Havul Adonai Kevod Shemo Ishtachavul Adonai Behadrat Kodesh. Hey, Kol Adonai Al Hamayim Edon Avodirim Adonai Hamayim Rabim Kol Adonai Bakoa. Highlight, Kol Adonai Behadar, Kol Adonai Shover Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et Arzei Halvanon, Vayarkidem Kemo Egel Levanon, Kesirion, Kemo Le'emin. Highlight, Kol Adonai Chotzer Lavodesh, כל אדוני יאכיל מדבר, יאכיל אדוני מדבר קדש, כל אדוני חולל היאלו, ויחסו וערו החלו כולו אומר קאו, איי 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 אדוני למה בו ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם, אוי אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. ידידיי איי 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 ידידיי איי איי לא איי 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 ידידיי איי said this before, but this beautiful prayer about the power of God, earthquakes and fires and lightning and all kinds of floods, and then after all the destruction, the last line, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. God's going to put it all back together after all the destruction and make peace. Shalom, which means wholeness. You can be seated. We're on page 22. This is the 42-letter name of God. Ana b'koach, please God, untie all the bound up places, restricted, blocked up places inside of us, all the energy that's been blocked from all the stress from the week. Help us to release and relax and untie that, because Kabbalah means receiving. Kabbalat Shabbat. We can only receive if we are open. So help us to open those knots and receive your light of Shabbat. Ana b'koach gedulat yemincha, tatir tzerura, kabel rinat amcha zagvenu, tareinu nora. Ay lay li lay lay lo, lay 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 lo, li lay lay lo, ay 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 yo, li lay lay lo, ha ho ho, lay lay li lay lo, ho ay lay lo. Hi, lily lay, oh, hi, lily lay, lily lay, oh, lily lay, lo, lily lay, lo, lily lay, lo, oh. 23 L'chadodi. Shamo v'zachor b'diborecha yishmianu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shemo tiferet v'litehila ha'elechadoti likra kala penei shabbat nekabela Ha'elechadoti likrat שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, אבא מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. אוי אוי לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. הולך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך, עיר מלוכה, קומי צאי מתוך אפיך, רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. הולך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. הולך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. Just the melody now. Hili-la-la-la-la, hili-la-la-lo, hili-la-la-lo, hi-la-la-la-la, ya-ba-ba, hili-la-la-la-la, hili-la-la-lo, hili-la-la-lo, hili-la-la-la-la. הולך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. הולך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. Let's jump ahead now to 24 at the bottom, Lo Teboshi. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תמי, בך יחסו אני עמי ונבנתה עיר אל תילה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. 25 והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מעלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסוס חתן, חתן על כלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפארות צבעי אדוני תעריצי, על יד איש בין פרצי ונשמחה, ונגילה לך דודי. Please rise. לקראת כלה בליל שבת, שבת נקבלה. As we pause in this moment, prepared to receive the bride of Shabbat, presence of Shabbat, it's very much a homecoming. It's meant to be that feeling that you get when you remember your life, when you remember who you are, when you remember why you're here, when you remember that Hashem has been here all along, and that the place to find Hashem is inside your own heart. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה בליל שבת נקבלה. איי הלילה לילה, איי הלילה לילה, איי הלילה לילה, איי הלילה לילה, Hi, li 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 li, hi li 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 li, hi li 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 li, hi la 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pelei Shabbat, Shabbat nekabela. I just realized that the folder that I need is in the office on the, thank you. I knew you would know where to find it. Okay, maybe seated. Welcome. Good Shabbos. The Shabbos bride, welcome. You guys came in with the Shabbos bride, or maybe you are the Shabbos bride. Welcome. You can't just sneak in, in L'chadodi. Actually, that's the time to sneak in. That's when you want to come in. So we're on page 27. Mizmor Shir, L'Yom HaShabbat. Sing the song, the day of Shabbat itself, Yom HaShabbat, is singing a song. If we can just quiet our minds, we can hear that song of Shabbat that began at the beginning of all creation, singing the world's purpose coming into being. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ולזמר, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ומונתך בלילות, ומונתך בלילות, טוב להודות לאדוני. 28 at the triangle, Tzadika Tamar. Tzadika Tamar Yifrach, Keres Balanon Yizke Shetuli beveis Adonai, bechatzros Eloheinu yafrichu, od yenuvun deseheva, deshenim veralanim yiyu lehagi, ki yashar Adonai lehagi, ki yashar tzuri velo avrata bo. Okay. So, Happy New Year, everyone. This is the also kind of a new year or renewal time in the Jewish calendar too, because we are starting a new book of the Torah tomorrow. We read from the book of Shmot, the book of Exodus, the second book of the Torah. And as we know, Joseph brought all the family down. There was a famine, so that's how we ended up in Egypt. And then over hundreds of years, indentured servants became slaves, became really harshly treated slaves, and even genocide was attempted against the Jewish people when Pharaoh said to drown every boy, to kill every baby boy. Of course, Moses was hidden away. He was hidden away by his mother and his sister, but eventually got into the hands of Pharaoh's daughter, and it was the women who started the rebellion against the resistance against the Egyptian Empire. It was both the women who continued to keep having children. They would meet their husbands in the fields who were exhausted, and they'd say, "Come, have some food," and then seduce them into making babies. And also because they didn't give up on life, and they wanted the Jewish people to keep thriving in the midst of all of this pain. And then, of course, the Hebrew midwives as well, who refused to follow Pharaoh's orders, and they also helped begin the resistance. And then, of course, Miriam, who follows Moshe in the basket, and Pharaoh's daughter, his own daughter, who started this resistance right under his nose, and raised this baby Hebrew into the Prince of Egypt. And then I'm just catching you up here. And then, of course, Moshe witnesses a Hebrew slave, being beaten, and he slays the taskmaster, and then eventually realizes he's a fugitive. He runs away into the wilderness, and he finds a new wife at a well. He saves them. He gets them water, and then his father-in-law Yitro, who's a Midianite shaman. He's this priest shaman from a different tradition, but becomes his Jedi mentor, becomes his tutor, his Yoda. And so this is where Moshe really kind of digs in deep and starts to begin to hear the voice of God. Until then, he really hadn't heard the voice of God. In fact, the voice of God was silent from the Jewish people for hundreds of years. There isn't really any communication. And now he's shepherding his father-in-law's flock way deep out into the wilderness to this holy mountain that his father-in-law said, "You should take them out to this mountain." His father tasked him to go on a vision quest. He goes out to this mountain, and there on the top of the mountain, I'll tell you what happens next. So he's tending the flocks of Yitro. He took the sheep and goats to Mount Sinai, and suddenly, this is according to the Midrash, but suddenly he saw that he was counting all of his animals. He noticed that there was a baby goat missing. And he's like, "Oh my God, I can't lose one of my animals, a baby goat. Oh my gosh, he's probably lost somewhere, or he ran away." So he finds the tracks, and he follows the tracks of that baby goat, and he sees that the goat is right there on the edge of one of the cliffs. And so to go catch the goat, he starts running after it. "Stop!" he cries, "You're headed for a cliff." Of course, the goat probably doesn't care, right? The goat can hang out there. But he pursues it, and as he's running after the goat, he frightens the goat, who begins running even faster and heads directly for a spring of water that's bubbling out of the side of the mountain, and begins drinking like mad. And Moshe, coming upon the kids, sees what's happening, realizes that the kid had not intended to escape, but rather was really thirsty and had heard there was a bubbling brook nearby and a spring, and wanted to drink. So Moshe very slowly approached the kid and let him finish drinking, and then placed his arms around the baby goat and said, "My little kid, I'm sorry. Had I known you were thirsty, I would never have chased you and frightened you." And he allowed, this is all in the Midrash, and he allowed the kid to finish drinking and then lifted the kid up on his shoulders. You ever see how people do that? You know, they kind of put the goat on their shoulders like this and walk around holding their legs like this. And he said, "I will carry you back to the herd, for you are now too young and too weak to make it back all the way." And so at that moment, that was the moment. Moshe does all these things before this. Yes, he also, he slays the taskmaster. He saves Zipporah, his future wife, at the well. He does all these things to act out against injustice and to take care of others. And here is this moment where he's even taking care of the littlest and the weakest of the flock there, literally. And Hashem looks down at Moses, saw these actions, and said, "How great," this is from the Midrash, "how great are your mercies, Moshe. You have pity on a kid because you're merciful. Because of this, you're fit to be the leader of my flock." Who's God's flock? The children of Israel. Of course, all people are God's children, but this is a special moment for the children of Israel. "And I know that you will be a faithful shepherd and merciful leader for them too." And of course, he has his magical staff there. There's this really cool story in the Midrash about how he gets it, where nobody can pull the sapphire staff out of the ground, and Yitro, his father-in-law, shows him the staff, and immediately it just pops out into his hand. So he has his magical staff. He's ready to lead the Jewish people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. But he hasn't received those orders yet. So later, he's walking back to the herd. On his way, he notices a thorn bush that seemed to be on fire from within. Now, brush fires were very common in the wilderness in Sinai. So Moshe was very observant. He noticed that the leaves were green and fresh, and it wasn't turning black. It seemed that the fire was not a physical fire burning of wood, but it was the spiritual fire of an angel, the fire of God's voice, the fire of Torah. And in our tradition, we understand that everything that exists has an angel or spiritual light from God that represents or manifests it. But usually we're only seeing the outer shell of everything, so we can't polish the surface to see the light that is within there. And Moshe had spent so many hours, so many days. He was out there for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness without any distractions of this world, that he had trained his inner vision so well that at that moment the veil lifted and he was able to see the Spirit of God in a thorn bush. It's so shamanic. I feel like this could be a story from, like a Native American tribe. And the Creator spoke to Moses through the bush for the first time. Not wishing to frighten him, God made his voice sound like his father, like Moses' father, Amram. "Moshe, Moshe," he looks around. "Father, is that you?" Hashem answered, "No, it's the God of your fathers. Take your shoes off. You're standing on holy ground." And the Hasidic reading of this is Sha'al na'alecha me'al raglecha, that it means, if you read the word na'alecha, it means remove, it can mean literally remove the locks that keep you shackled to your regel, and regel can mean habits. So remove the locks that keep you shackled to your habits of thinking and walking. Remove the barrier between you and the earth. Up until now, Moses was confused about who he was. Am I an Egyptian royal? Am I a Midianite like my father-in-law? Or am I a Hebrew slave, even though I've lived my whole life away from my parents, or most of his life? When Moshe took off his shoes and walked closer, he was amazed by what he saw. According to the Midrash, 22 Hebrew letters of the Aleph Bet were dancing together in the flames of the fire. And as each fiery letter, leaped up out of the top of the bush, God taught him the name of that letter and the sound that it makes. Aleph Bet, Bet, Aleph Bet. After getting his first lesson in the Aleph Bet, Moshe taught himself to read Hebrew and was able to later write down and understand the Torah and share it with the people. And God told him about his mission to be the shepherd that would lead the Israelites out of Egypt and back home. At first he resisted. He argued with God. I'm not good enough. Who am I? I can't do that. They'll never listen to me. How do I know that this is for real, that Pharaoh will listen to me? And God says, take that staff, throw it on the ground. It became a snake. Moshe looks, and other miracles that happen. Moshe looks at the burning bush, and he sees that it's a miracle because his eyes are truly open. And we too stand in front of the burning bush all the time. It still burns. It's up to us to practice this opening of our eyes on every level so we can see all the miracles which are in front of us all the time. And so often we go through our days spiritually asleep, especially during the week. Our eyes may be open, but we're caught up in anxiety and frustration, distraction, and it's so hard to notice the fire of God that is right in front of us and right within us. So this parsha, I think of this parsha as an invitation, an initiation to notice the miracles around us, to notice the bush as it still burns on and is not consumed, to remove whatever stands in the way of our encounter with the divine. And Shabbat is there to help us do that, to remember that like God, we're always becoming, and like Moshe, we're always confronted with radical new possibilities if only we'll open our eyes. Shabbat Shalom. Let's rise and Ingrid, can you come up? Yeah. 39A. Whoops. Sorry. Okay. Let's face towards Israel. And this is the one. Baruch Hu et Adonai. Okay, ready? Wait, hold on a sec. Is this working? Yes. Okay. Remember, you have to be louder, okay? You're the leader. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Vaed. All right, thanks. Call you back up in a sec. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bidvaro Mariv Aravim. You may be seated. Blessed are you, the one who brings on the night. We thank you not just for the day, but we thank you also for the night, which is just this incredibly powerful spiritual time. You create day and night, roll light before darkness and darkness from light. Make day pass into night. You distinguish day from night. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamariv Aravim. We're on page 40. Ahavat Olam. Oh, do you know this one? Can you help me? We'll do it together. A duet. No? Okay. I'll call you up in a sec. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al ken Adonai Eloheinu V'shochveinu v'kumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha Leolam vaed Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu Uvahen ege yomam v'layla yomam v'layla ואהבתך תשים ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו Yisrael. Blessed are you who loves the people of Israel. And now we cover our eyes, tune into the oneness, to the light in the darkness, the light of God that is within all that is, connecting us and everything as one, as echad. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you gotta be louder. 1, 2, 3. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכסבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Okay, maybe just go over there because I'll call you right back up. V'hayim shemo mitzvotai asher anuchi mitzavetchem 142. מיום לא מונש גם אני מתאר צריכים פתאום פעם just what do me kamocha next. Okay. ויאמר אדוני אל משה דבר. מען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל. Adonai Elohechem Emet, page 44. Malchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem, Moshe uMiriam uvnei Yisrael lechalnu shira besimcha rabba, v'yameru chulam. Still a bit higher, sorry. You know this one? מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה, זה לי ענו ואמרו, זה לי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Thank you. ונאמר כי באדוני את יעקב גלב יד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. Hashem, help us to sleep good tonight, sleep peacefully, not be disturbed by any bad dreams, and to wake up refreshed and with our soul completely inhabiting our entire body, our entire being, ready to serve you. Hashkivenu Adonai Elohei לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. Down to the triangle. ושמור צאתנו. It's a little high. ובואנו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. We rise. Blessed are you Adonai, who spreads the sukkah of shalom over us, over all the people of Israel, over Jerusalem and all of the land. Page 46 for Vishamru. Why don't you come back up? We'll do the Vishamru. Yeah, okay. Okay, all right, you can lead us in this one, right? You got it. All right, just the first part anyway. Oh, sorry, I want you to get close to the mic. A little closer. Good. Okay, ready? We'll do it together. 1, 2, 3. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לתורתם ברית עולם. All right, we're good. Oops, stay here. Chatzi Kaddish. Actually, we'll go this way. Whoa. Okay. Oop. All right. Yitkadam. Okay, great. Why don't you put your finger there so you can follow? Great. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yitkadam v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'ama v'brak yutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'ayeh b'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'izman kariv v'yemeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'li'amei almaya yitbarach
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh v'yitalar v'yitala shemei d'kudasha
Berichu
le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata
tushbechata v'nech Lemata Damiram Bialma Viemeru. Amen. Okay, you can go over there and grab your book for the Amida, which is on page 47. Please add your own prayers as well. It's this moment where we stand, we imagine we're standing right before the presence of God. Your own pace, no rush. We're at the bottom of 52. Oh, say shalom bimroma. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. ילללללה, 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 We're on page 54. Yitgada v'ikada shemei rabba B'alma divra kirudei v'yamlich malchutei B'chaychon v'mechon v'chaydecho Beit Yisrael B'agalau v'zman kari v'imeru Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach Le'olam u'le'almei amaya Yisbarach Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yisbar v'yizraman v'yisnaseh V'yizadar v'yizalev v'yizalal shemei dekudesha b'richu Le'elam min kol birchasa v'shirasa tushbechasa v'nechamasa Damiran b'alma v'imeru Amen. Teis kabel soton v'ot chon v'choyser agadamon v'shmaya v'imeru Amen. Yehi shlama rabu min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'yal koyser v'imeru Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yeshvei tevel v'imeru Amen. Page 56, Aleinu. It is upon us to praise the ruler of all. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I forgot this part. Hold on one sec. And it looks like I'm frozen on the screen there. I don't know if that's. Oh, okay. Good. All right, everybody. This is kind of awkward because you can't see. Hold on. And then I just busted you in the face. Sorry. Okay. Too close. Okay, there we go. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. 57. ותמלוך עליהם מעמד, כי המלכות שלך מעמד, ותמלוך בכבוד ככתוב. Can you do this one, or you want to do it with me? ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Shakoach. Be seated. So tonight we remember the following congregants who have yard sites. I only need one, right? Joseph Blum, Robert Reuben Carr, Robert DiGiulio, let me know if I'm pronouncing that right, John Hennessy Jr., Bernice Lambden, Meyer Litsky, Marion Grace Monroe, Mary Patchkis, Jerome Hyman Wax, Johanna Kahn, Hildegard Zacharias, Sarah Ida Rome Kirschner, Rose Pels, Shirley Adler Stern, Shirley Stern, Theodore Ted Whitkin, Ethel Haberman Yett, Barnett Asner, Shirley Gimbel, Bernice Press Hirsch, Daniel Kutzko, Sarah C. Rosenberg, Sarah Weinstein, Anna Sarah Barron, Ronald Glassman, Morris Hansen, Robert Weinstein, Erwin Zaitz, Samuel Zeskind, Alan Paul, Israel Schobel, Rachel Mel Cohen, Celia Gardner Glassman, Bernard Greenberg, Blanche Grossman, Charles David Hill, Laura Merritt, Marshall Wiener. And I want to add to our intention, our kavanah for this Kaddish, all of the innocent people who have died in the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Are there any other names that we are saying Kaddish for today? Yes, please. Yes, please.
Bunny Lambden, Bernice Lambden, her daughter did the stained glass.
Oh, wow.
There. When I was under 7, Bunny taught me how to iron. I can't believe that she did that. It's really ballsy.
That's a hot, yeah. That's.
And so, I mean, I don't iron anymore.
Oh.
Last time I ironed a shirt, I thought of her. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Could you please repeat what she said since we can't hear it?
So Sue just said that. Sorry, she has the mic. I'll let you say. Yeah.
Bunny Lambden taught me how to iron when I was 7.
It's one of the people on the list. One of the people that we're remembering today. Thank you. That's great. I often, I don't know most of these people. Although I picture them, I imagine that they're so beloved to God, like they're like, each one is unique and waiting to be revived when the final end times come. Anybody else? Yes. Oh, wow. So you have a yard site for her today. That's beautiful. Is that your mom or Rob's mom? Okay. All right. So that was, okay, sorry, I'll repeat what they just said, that Rose Pels is her grandmother and Ingrid's mother-in-law. So another person, anybody? And a treasure to the community. Well loved. Anybody else we want to add? Yes, please, Sue. Your mom, Barbara Schaefer, Zichrona Livracha, may her memory bless you. Anybody else? Okay. Anybody from home want to add a name? Okay. So Morning Kaddish is on page 58. Yisgadal v'yisgadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma dibra kirusei v'yamlich malchusei. B'chayechon uvyomechon u'chayei d'chol beis Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'le'almei almayah. Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yispa'ar v'yisromam v'yisnaseh. V'yishadal v'yis'aleh v'yis'alal shemei d'kudisha brichu. La'ela min kol birchasa v'shirasa tushbechasa v'nechemasa da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlam rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Ose shalom b'moma hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Just brief announcements here. Maybe not. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to do announcements. But I will say that tomorrow night, we are having, besides tomorrow morning is the service, and be really lovely, please come. We also have tomorrow night at, what time is the thing tomorrow night? 6. So we have, I should have asked you guys. So Dave and Holly, we're setting up today for the, what's that? Okay. For the, what are we calling it? Wine and cheese event. And there's going to be a vinter there who's going to be teaching us about the wine that he's bringing from Shelburne Vineyards, right? Is he Jewish? Oh, shoot. Okay, right. I knew that. Okay. I'm going to get to know him. Okay. That's amazing. We have a vinter. This congregation is so Vermont. We have a vinter, and we also have shepherds. We have people who are actually, that's their like profession. They're sheep shepherds. Who else? I'm sure we have somebody who has chickens too, I'm sure. And what's that? Lots of them, yes. He's still a member. The mayor is still a member. He doesn't come to shul. Yeah, I make him feel guilty every time I see him. I'm like, haven't seen you at shul lately, Or actually, I don't even have to say that. He always says to me, he's always like, I'm sorry, Rabbi. I know I should come to shul more. It's funny. I'm like, you're the mayor. You're busy. Although not on Shabbos, but yeah. Right. That's true. Right. Yeah. Now he'll have no excuse. All right. Well, any other announcements? Anybody wants to add any other announcements? Okay. So we're going to conclude with Adon Olam on page 211. And maybe someday we'll do Yigdal, but I think for tonight we want to include Adon Olam. I'm going to do this. Hold on. 211. Okay. You know the one? Adon Olam. Okay. That one? Or which one? Adon Olam Asher Malach. Adon Olam. Okay, let's do that one. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Adon Olam. Asher Malach.
Asher Malach.
B'terem kol.
B'terem kol.
Yitzir Malach.
Yitzir Nivra. Yeit Nasa. B'chetz kol. Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. Ve'acharei kichlot hakol לבדו ימלוך נורא אדון עולם, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם.
Adon Olam.
אדון עולם,
Asher Malach.
אשר מלך
B'terem Kol.
בטרם כל
Yitzir Nara.
יציר נברא לעת נשא.
Liet Nasa.
בחפץ הכל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון העולם, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה אדון עולם, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה אדון עולם.
Adon Olam.
אדון עולם,
Asher Malach.
אשר מלך
B'terem Kol.
בטרם כל
Yitzir Nivra.
יציר נברא
Liet Nasa.
לעת נשא.
B'chesed.
כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא לי, is that where we are? והוא אלי, וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה אדון עולם, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא אדון עולם.
Adon Olam.
אדון עולם,
Asher Malach.
אשר מלך
B'terem Kol.
בטרם כל
Yitzir Nivra.
יציר נברא
Liet Nasa.
לעת נשא.
B'chesed.
בחפץ הכל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, בידו הפקיד רוחי, בעת תישן ויעירה אדון עולם, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא אדון עולם. Last time.
Adon Olam.
אדון עולם,
Asher Malach.
אשר מלך
B'terem Kol.
בטרם כל
Yitzir Nivra.
יציר נברא
Liet Nasa.
לעת נשא.
B'chesed.
כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם. שכוח. All right, join us for Kiddush out in the lobby. My voice is a little hoarse. Oh, I want to say goodbye to the folks at home. Are they still there?
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We didn't forget about you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat.
All right, and I'll bring that up at the Religious and Spirituality Committee meeting. That
It'd be nice if people could see us,
yeah, I mean I can see you the whole time,
but they
but
can't.
they can't. Yeah.
See them too.
Well, if you turn around. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're
on
seeing.
the
Yes,
side.
we can see them as well.
Yeah.
Hi, Rich.
What do you think about like over there? Although it was blocking the entrance.
Hi.